Welcome back to another episode of the Entrepreneurial Family Man podcast.
Long black train, 'cause there's victory in the Lord, I say. Victory in the Lord. Cling to the promise that holy name. Don't go riding on that long black train.
I'm right there with you. Every EFM guy knows this entrepreneurial train, as you just sang about, can go up and down, right? I am Chris Niemeyer, here with my good friends, Stella.
Are you really drinking a beer, Michael?
Yeah, man. It's Egyptian Stella.
You're totally a 7, dude.
Yep.
Thursday afternoon. It's sort of the weekend at 1 o'clock.
Every day is the weekend we're an EFM, man.
That's true.
This is a perfect episode to follow my, getting my drinking under control. Did I mention that?
I love it. I'm Chris Niemeyer, here with my good friends. McCluskey, we miss you. You are hosting a retreat for your PCCI team. Know that you are here in spirit. But we are just guys who we love our wives.
Hey, we can love them and be crazy about them.
We are crazy about our wives. We love our kids, and we want to kill it in business. And this show is a safe place to talk about those domains, the challenge, the tension, the opportunities that exist as EFM men. And today, we want to talk about this idea that we learned from Dan Cathy. A few weeks back, we mentioned we had this opportunity to be with the CEO of Chic-Fil-A, Dan Cathy, and learn from him some amazing business concepts, truly life lessons for every EFM guy. Dan Cathy is our EFM friend. And
he's the rabbit we're chasing, right?
He is the rabbit. That's right. But one of the paradigm shifts that he gave is this idea of marrying the mission, dating the methods. You know, he may have gotten this from Andy Stanley, who also said similar to date the model, but marry the mission. And so we just want to talk about what does that mean to marry the mission and to date the methods. How do you unpack that? How do you create a mission for your life? You know, at EFM, we talk about how we have this very focused path. We're crazy about our wives first. We are marriage focused. Even before that, for us personally, faith is the lens that we see everything through. And so it's all about our relationship with God. And then after the marriage comes the kids and then the business. So Jamie, Michael, let's talk about how do you approach marrying the mission in your own life?
I know here at EFM, we are Christians. And so we want to align ourselves with serving the Lord. We want to accomplish something greater than just making a bunch of money. One day we want to hear those words, well done, good and faithful servant. So it's not the Benjamins, right?
Yeah, Jamie, you're so right. Our mission is so much bigger than just making some money and doing really well. We want to make an impact. And in our mission as EFM guys, that's laid out pretty clear where that impact starts. And starts with our wives, right? And then our kids, and then our business. But man, without a mission, I feel pretty lost on even what my methods should be or what my steps should be to get there. So this is a pretty important piece. And I'm constantly tweaking and reworking my mission, but I know there's a couple things that I'm not willing to waver on. And even we were laughing earlier, I pulled out this old mission that I wrote down in January of 2015. So more than 4 years ago, some of these same themes that still are very present today, still that we subscribe to as a family, are there, and they're in cement, and they're not going to change. I might tweak some of the other ways of doing it, the ways of getting there, but this mission thing is pretty crucial to guiding you as you step forward in life.
You actually chiseled it into the cement at your house,
There's
right?
several different kinds of cement. There's spiritual cement. There's mental cement. There's physical construction material cement. This one is in spiritual mental cement in the McGreevy
That's
family.
right. Don't confuse that with concrete, Jamie. Michael, I like what you said there, though, because you said a couple keywords I want to hone in on. Is you don't just get there because you're not guided by something. You can drift, right? If you don't have something, a mission to stand for, to move toward, you will drift. And I think it's been said that people don't get exactly where they want to go by drifting. They get there by having a compass to guide them in what they do. Michael, would you actually share this mission, this statement that you and Lydia come up with? Because I think it's a great example for all of us. It's a little in detail, but I think it's a great example for us to listen to.
I would be happy to. And this was written in January of 2015. Hasn't been updated since then, but it still rings very true. All right, here we go. Jesus is the most important person in our lives. Our marriage comes second, then our kids. We are committed to living our lives to the fullest. We always respect others and generously give to those in need. We will take every opportunity to grow, learn, and do our best with what God has given us. We spend time on things that matter. We will be courageous when we are afraid, and we will boldly stand up for what is right and just. We are brave in the face of fear and compassionate with the weak. We are leaders in our communities, careers, and churches. We use our gifts and talents to serve others and make this world a better place. Our actions reflect integrity and character. Our hearts overflow with love and generosity. We recognize that our lives are not our own and that our ultimate goal in the end is to hear, "Well done, good and faithful servant." And this mission is front and center on our refrigerator, and we look at it all the time.
Man, I love that. I love the flow of it. From the start, exactly the person who you're following and then everything in terms of the life, what that looks like is there in the middle. And then in the end, the ultimate goal gets back to that same person.
To me, that last line pulls me right back into focus on what's important. If I want to hear those words, "Well done, good and faithful servant," wow, does that really help me identify what I need to do and what I need to be working on?
So, Michael, that's a great example of really clarifying your mission to detail. And I'm sure that took time. I'm sure that took concentration and effort together as a couple to come up with that. It encourages me to sit down with Alicia and deal with that in our own family. It's something we've been talking about doing. Jamie, you had a good example, though, of something you went through recently or the last couple of years through Andy Andrews. He's got a family mission statement and a kind of a mini course through that. Tell us more about what you and Ruthie did as it relates to your mission.
Yeah, this was actually back in the day, right around the same time I think McGreevy did it. 2015 was ours when we moved here to Franklin. Andy Andrews had a really great template. I think you can still get it on his website. We sat down and we just talked about what's our mission? Like, why are we here? Like, if we boiled everything down, what's most important? And then we came up with a very brief mission statement, a family mission statement. And we also came up with a slogan. And I'll read our mission first. And the slogan we just wrote on the wall. We wrote it down and our kids recited it. Our family mission statement is, "We are here to glorify God and manage wisely what has been loaned to us. How we treat others and the things we have shows our love and respect for God." That's our mission statement. And then the Slingerland family slogan is, "First God, then people, and then things. Cha-cha-cha." We added that little Latino thing in there because we're half Latino, so we got the cha-cha-cha in there.
You guys dance through life, so that fits you perfectly.
That totally does. That's like the Latino plus the 7 on the Enneagram. It works well.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Everything in that mission statement and the slogan was intentional. That whole idea is that, God is first, and then everything we have, we only have it for a brief period of time. So it's not necessarily ours. Our resources, what we have, all the stuff that we have, including like the furniture that we have, the cars that we drive, we take care of things because they're loaned to us by God, and we only have them for a short period of time, and everything is God's.
I like what you said with the things that were loaned to us. How often do you think about things in that light? Everything around us, our money, our house, our stuff is on loan to us to use well. Man, that really changes the perspective. Well done, Slinger Lens. I like that.
I love that. But I love the point there, Jamie, that you did it. You did that hard work, and now it's something you can point your kids back to, right? When there are those moments when you could kindly remind, instruct, correct as things are happening, right? Hey, does that align with our family mission statement? You know, when you talk about kids saying, mine, mine, mine. Well, remember, this is on loan.
Right.
I mean, just little things like that, I think, can be so valuable for young kids to bring them in line with this family vision that we created. And you know, I'm reminded what you guys are both saying here. This gets down to three main questions that philosophers have dealt with since the beginning of time. It's actually, if you remember my graduation story, it's the same questions I related there. As you're talking about a mission, who are we? Why are we here? And where are we going? And you can incorporate that into your family mission statement. Who are we as a couple, as a family, right? Where are we going with that? So, you know, Alicia and I haven't done this to the degree that you guys have, but I do remember sitting down at a kitchen table with her back in 2006 when we were both working for other people and had that entrepreneurial itch we wanted to scratch. And we started listing down our values, things that we're interested in, some skill sets and all that. And that led us on this journey and this path to our mission in life in terms of how we're creating these entrepreneurial endeavors, how we're serving God through the different types of businesses we are part of and starting. And now with kids, like this is encouraging me to get back to a deeper connection with her on how can we move our mission forward, because, and this will move us to number 2 here about the methods. So many people, I believe, focus their methods on the job or the retirement or the goal, and that is the default mission that they have created for themselves in life. Well, if I can just get to this number, if I can just have the house and all this stuff, right, that'll be the day. And sometimes that all comes crashing down. Even our jobs can sometimes be seen as a mission where really that's just the method. So let's move to number 2 here in terms of dating the methods. Michael, you talked about dating methods and the opportunities that exist and changes that might occur. What does that look like for you, for an entrepreneurial family man?
Yeah, well, part of it is just my personality. I like variety. And sometimes when I'm working on something for a couple of years, I just get sick of it and I want to not do it anymore. I'll pivot and do something completely different. Now, that doesn't change what we're all about as a family. It just changes the vehicle to how we get there in the end. Like just recently buying this house, I see having Airbnb units and rental income as a great way to add to the mission that I want to live out, to create that flexibility that allows me to live the lifestyle I want, to invest in my marriage, to invest in my kids, to travel, to be on an adventure. And so this is just a new method for that same mission. And who knows, maybe that method will change again in a couple of years and I want to go about it a different way. And that really satisfies my personality and how God put me together. I like variety. I like adventure. I like different things and projects. And so that's how I see this dating the methods perspective.
Yeah, I like that because you are good at variety and you have a skill set in different areas. So it plays into not just having one method that can be the only method that you use as an entrepreneur. There's going to be so many opportunities out there and that'll change over time. Like we have to adapt. Every business, they say, is either dying or adapting. And so no matter what the widget or service or method you're using, you've got to be able to pivot, right? So Jamie, what about you when it comes to the methods and how do you approach that as an EFM guy?
Yeah, I've wrestled with this because I've been frustrated at times with the methods And then having a mission, it goes a little bit back to what McGreevy is saying, is that you realize sometimes, even if you're frustrated, that this is feeding the vision and this is feeding the mission. I've wrestled and complained a lot about just being bored with something that I've set up, and now I'm ready for the next thing. But we got to realize being responsible with what we have now is going to move us into the next thing when it's the right timing. In moments of clarity, when I go back to the mission, I realize this is the goose that is laying the golden eggs.
Yeah, I can identify there with Jamie a little bit what he was sharing, in that, for us back in 2006 when we started our first online company, that was and has been the golden goose, to use your words, Jamie, for a long time, but got to a point where I got a little bored with it and repositioned it to where it didn't need to run without me. It didn't need to run with me. I really, hired well, put people in place to where I could go and pursue some other ideas, other opportunities. One of those opportunities took off, did well for a couple of years. And then I realized, you know what? I see what the trajectory of this one's going to be like. I don't like where that's going to go. Let's go try something else. And so now I'm in that similar season like you guys, where I'm looking at what are some other methods I could use to bring in new income, to connect with that mission, to be more available, more present to Alicia, my kids. Just yesterday got confirmation on some new tenants on a new property I bought in cash last month. And I want to keep on doing a lot more of that. Right. And that's another method, another income stream for us as a family to continue this mission. There are other opportunities in front of me that I'm going to try for a season. Sometimes business ideas go well. Sometimes they dry up. It's how you can pivot, right?
Yes. Niemeyer, I love what you're saying, because even before I hung out with you guys, I knew that I wanted to be an EFM guy and stay focused on that. But you go to a barbecue and a bunch of guys are hanging out and everybody asks that question, right? We know what question it's going to ask, right?
What do you do? What
I love about hanging out with you guys.
What did you do today?
Yeah. What did you do today? Who are you? I want to change and flip the script and go to barbecue meetings and be like, who are you? And be like, well, I'm Jamie, and I'm really passionate about these. We could use the word things, but I love that word method. I'm passionate about these methods that provide us with the lifestyle and the freedom and flexibility so we can spend time with our families. And so, yes, we all do have this desire to have the methods be more in line with directly connecting with influence and, seeing people smile on their face when they receive the product or service that we're offering. That definitely feels more rewarding. But I think it's so helpful to be around you guys and realize it's okay what you're doing. It's actually, that's what God has for you, Niemeyer, you, McGreevy, in this season of our life. If we're not 100% satisfied with every single thing that we do in a 40-hour work week, that's all right.
Yeah. You know what's pretty cool is we all have very similar missions, including McCluskey here. And we all have very different methods in the way we do everything, right? And the way we love our wives, the way we take care of our kids, the way that we do business, and even the industries that we're in. And that's the cool thing, is just because you share a mission with someone else doesn't mean your methods have to be the same. You could look at it completely different. And I found a lot of freedom in that with you guys, because I felt like, if that's the mission, then there's one way to do it, and these are the steps you follow. And that not being true has been so freeing, because I can explore the way my personality is, hold on to that mission, and pivot where I want to pivot, and use the gifts that God has given me, and use the unique personality that He's given me to live out my mission in the way that He would have me live it out. And that's pretty exciting to see an example of all four of us doing that together.
Yeah, I like what you guys are sharing there, because you really hit upon exploring the uniqueness, right? You guys both said your uniqueness in terms of what are the skill sets? What are the interests? Michael, you mentioned it's not about one method to do this entrepreneurial life. We're all given different abilities, opportunities. And so I love that these methods can be different. They can change over time. I'm thinking of Jamie. Jamie, you shared earlier about the the Amazon, it was growing. You were killing it. You got a little bored. Some things happened. You've pivoted some. A lot bored.
I'm always bored. I think me and McGreevy have that in common.
It's okay though. You're pivoting in a good way. But just an example of this summer season for you, Jamie. There's a seasonality to Amazon, and you're able to dive into this Airbnb project at your house because it's going to yield more revenue, more of what you want for your family. And you're at the tail end of that. Guess what? Now Amazon's picking back up. You're at your peak busy season. But you built in the margin for yourself and your lifestyle to pivot as needed.
And that's something I think we all need to remind ourselves of. I need to remind myself of this all the time. The method that I'm using right now to carry out this vision, if I have success with that, that's going to free up capital and opportunity for me to move on to the next thing, the next method.
Absolutely. AKA opportunities to learn and grow and become even better and become more of who God designed you to be. Bam. That's where it's at.
That's true. I'm even thinking when you have that first method down, that mission down, and you are clear on your family's mission, methods are going to come and go, and opportunities may present themselves that don't align with the mission. I'm thinking of last week's episode I wasn't able to record on, but I listened to about Jason Pearl in our mastermind, and a shining example, right, of becoming an EFM guy and wanting more freedom and flexibility. Well, he has such great skill sets that he was given an amazing opportunity as a job with amazing perks and all this stuff, but it didn't, at the end of the day, align with his mission and where he was going. So having a solid mission helps filter all those opportunities and the methods that you could be using.
Pearls of wisdom. Continue.
Jason Nuggets.
Pearls of wisdom. I love it.
That should be his blog, right? If he has a personal brand.
Jason's Nuggets.
Pearls from Jason.
Pearls of wisdom.
Jason took the webs, and I'm pretty sure he's a 3 like you, man.
Oh, of course, man. That's why I love him so much. So what about you? As we've been talking about marrying the mission and dating the methods, where do you need to reevaluate your existing mission? What are you not willing to yield on? Examine your core beliefs. Does it align with the EFM core values and beliefs? And have you put anything into writing? It can be a living, breathing document that can be adjusted over time. Michael and Jamie gave 2 great examples of each of those. But we encourage you, activate on this. Talk with your spouse. Set up an exciting, bold mission you can lead your family on.
Thank you for listening to the Entrepreneurial Family Man Podcast. Visit efmlife.com to connect with us and others like you who are pursuing success in enterprise, family, and marriage.